Hello everyone, welcome to my new channel, Nana's Tribe Talks. I'm just making this channel just to have conversation and, maybe vent sometimes or talk about certain topics that y'all want to talk about. And today I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of background on me, a little bit of history. I'm a 57-year-old Nana of 10 and a great grandma of 1. And yeah, they used to keep me very busy. But back in 2010, I started experiencing a lot of pain and burning in my feet. And make a long story short, it just progressed, and next thing I know, I'm unable to work. I'm unable to stand, and I'd been working since I was 12. I was an executive director of a nonprofit organization, and after it closed due to financial, I went to work as a program coordinator for another agency. And did that for probably about a year maybe, and this is when all this stuff started happening. So I basically went from making probably about $35,000 a year or more to $1,200 a month. And granted, it's better than nothing. But that makes life really hard, when you're used to paying your bills, getting everything paid off, and then boom, you barely have enough money to cover your bills. I shouldn't say my progress. The diagnosis that I finally got in 2019 was peripheral neuropathy. And it was really hard. Like, the pain was unbearable. And I just, life was just non-existent really, because I couldn't get out and go walking anymore. I was doing a lot of walking. During this time, I ended up gaining a lot of weight because I wasn't able to do a lot of exercising. I just felt like I was just a person there. I wasn't able to get out and do with my grandchildren as much. And, these days they're having games. They're old enough where they're having baseball games, softball games, basketball games, choir concerts. And it's hard for me to get out and go to those. Because I can't sit in a position for a long time or lay in a position for a long time. And for those of you that have neuropathy, there's 9,753 different kinds of pain. None of them are really the same. And back in 2021, I believe it was, because I have no feeling in my feet and I'd had the burning, I would use cold packs. Well, I was having to get up in the middle of the night, change out the cold packs, blah, 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 blah. Well, then someone gave me some of ice packs that you put in the freezer and they freeze. My cold packs would just get cold. They wouldn't freeze. So I would use those at night to put my cold packs on so I could just flip it over and get the other side cold, and just keep doing that throughout the night without having to get up, switching them out. And I started getting these blisters on my feet, and I would know 2 days in advance because my feet would hurt really bad. There would be this weird pain that I wasn't used to. And so about a year of that coming on, I had it probably 3 or 4 different times. The blisters were really, really bad. So I went to my doctor, and Because I'd gained all the weight, I had developed diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And so I was really concerned, that I was going to have to get my feet amputated. So I went to the doctor. He didn't know what it was. And they sent me to a place that does cleaning and wrapping and stuff of wounds, wound care. That's what it was called, wound care. So I went to wound care, and they suggested that I go to this foot doctor. So I called my doctor. They referred me over there, and so I called my doctor, and he referred me over to the foot doctor. And I went over there, and he's looking. He's like, "It looks like that you have that your feet were burned." I was like, "Burned?" He's like, "Have you been walking outside barefoot?" I was like, "I never go anywhere barefoot. I have to have a shoe on when I walk, or at least a sock, and I have to be really careful with socks and shoes that I buy, because not all of them I can wear for a period of time. So it's hard for me to, but I said I always have something on my feet." And he's like, "Well, I just don't know what it could be, if it's not that if you didn't burn your feet on a hot cement or something." And my sister was with me, and she brought up, she's like, "What about her cold packs?" And he's like, "What cold packs?" And so I explained to him. He's like, yeah, you've got what do you call it, God, my brain goes everywhere, and that's another story. He said, "Yeah, you've got yeah, when something gets very cold, and you know what I'm talking about." See, this is what we're talking, and I call this gabapentin brain, and we're going to get to that, because that's a story within itself. So anyway, I end up going, it took 2 months to get these things to heal, because they were so deep, and going weekly to see him. And so back in 2019, when I was diagnosed, my neurologist put me on I think it was 600 milligrams of gabapentin, 300 in the morning, 300 at night. Okay, so I did that. And then about 6 months, maybe a year after that, it was not working as good. So he put me on 1200, 600 in the morning, 600 at night. Still okay. Well, then about 6 months to a year, same thing. Before it was all said and done, I was up to 2,400 milligrams of gabapentin. Got to the point to where I couldn't walk. I mean, I could walk, but I had to have a cane because I couldn't balance. My balance was nothing. So I went and bought a cane. Or actually, somebody gave me a cane. But I had to use a cane. I couldn't balance. My sleep was all off. And people were telling me "God, I take 200 milligrams a day and I'm out like a light." And me, I was it didn't faze me one bit, not even on 2,400 milligrams, as far as bleh. But it did faze me on speech, on cognitive, on walking. It got crazy. Well, then when we went back to him, my sister went with me, and he was wanting to raise it more. I was like, I'm done. Because I thought the balance and the having to walk with a cane was all part of the neuropathy thing. So I talked to my doctor, and he was able to get me into another neurologist, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But in 2021, my doctor had made me an appointment to go to a vascular clinic or a vascular hospital over in Oklahoma City. And this was before, he made the appointment before I actually went to the foot doctor. So I just decided to go ahead and go just to see if there was anything else that was in, causing any problems or whatnot. So we get there and she checks my vascular, she checks everything. She's like, everything is fine, like blah, 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 blah. And so I was kind of telling her about the neuropathy and everything like that. And she's like, well, this might be your lucky day because they're doing a thing here at the hospital. Well, it's going to be a trial thing. But probably here in the next few months, I'd like to make you an appointment with that doctor and to see if you qualified to be one of the people that get the procedure. I was like, count me in, sign me up. So they got me an appointment and I went in, and sure enough, he's like, you'll benefit from this, and we would like for when we end up starting this, that we would like for you to be one of the candidates. Now, initially, it was going to be like these little ear inserts or something, like they were going to put little things in your ear. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But then later on, when I went to the appointment to do my pre-op stuff before, to get all that ready, they had changed it and wanted me to do what they call these pain stimulators, and they would put them on the inside of my leg from the ankle up to probably about, 4 or 5 inches up on each leg. And I would wear these batteries when the pain would start getting bad. I'd put these batteries on and it would help to do, to calm the pain down. So needless to say, I got those in 2021. They have worked to an extent, but if it comes on really, crazy fast, and the pain is just, boom, it's there. It takes a few hours for it to bring the pain down. But if I feel it coming on and I put the batteries on, then it pretty much calms them down, within probably 20 minutes. But I've been really satisfied with those. But technology changes so much, and, I don't know about maybe going and checking with my doctor to see if there's something else now that they can do that would make it even better. I'll just have to see. But the new neurologist ended up agreeing with me that 2,400 milligrams of gabapentin was stupid. And so he's like, but it's going to take us a bit to get you off of them. We're going to have to taper it down a little at a time. So, we went from like 2,400 to, 2,000, and then 2,000 to 1,600. And there was probably like 2 or 3 weeks in between each dose being lowered because it was such a high dose. And it took probably, probably 4 or 5 months to really break me off completely from the gabapentin, and then just go on Cymbalta, which has worked fine too. And, not only does it help with that, but it helps with my anxiety that I get with it. So, but that's my story at where I'm at right now with the neuropathy. And that's not all that I'm going to talk about on this channel. I just kind of wanted to have a, little tribe that we could talk and, chat about things in common, and, talk about grandkids. And believe me, I got enough to talk about. I have 2 children, 2 girls, and 10 grandchildren. It's crazy, but I love them all. But yeah, if you have neuropathy, leave in the comments, what are some things that you do to help with the pain, or if you you know, because I was the first one in this hospital. I don't know if I was the first one, but I was the first one in this hospital to have the stimulators put in, and they put the temps in first and left them in for, I think it was supposed to be 3 days, but it was Christmas, so they ended up being in there for 5 days, so I got 2 extra days with them. That was awesome. And then once they pulled the temps out, they said it'd be about 2 weeks before I could get the permanent ones, and I was really upset because I was like, they had helped, you know, I could tell a difference, and I was now I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks, but they ended up calling me in like a week, less than a week, and it was set up for exactly, I think, a week later after they were taken out, the temps were taken out. So, but I was the first one at that hospital to have it done, the first procedure that doctor had done. And when I got my permanent ones, there was other doctors from other hospitals and other like representatives and things like that were there to watch this. They asked my permission, of course, but to watch the surgery. And of course I said yes, because if I can help other people, I definitely want to. So let's get these people trained. But anyway, well, thank you, Tribe, for coming in. I know this is the first video, but I'm hoping to get a lot of y'all nanas out there. You don't even have to be a nana to be in this tribe. Just come in, and you know, you can be a papa, you can be a mama, you can be a daddy, you can be anything. Just come on in and let's have conversation and just, you know, boost each other up. And, you know, I'm trying to do a weight loss journey, and so far I think I'm down. Yesterday when I weighed at the doctor, it was 15 pounds, which I'm glad about that, but that was like for 2 months. So it's just hard when you can't get out and walk and exercise. I do yoga, chair yoga, so you can't get the heart rate up as much as if you were out walking, but you know, hey, at least it's going down and not up. But anyway, well, if there's anything you would like to talk about, just leave it in the comments. You know, we can chit chat and just have a lot of fun. So anyway, well, come and join us. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and come be part of the family. Talk to you later. Bye.